Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Just checking in for a daily Brad. I hope you guys are doing really well on this absolutely gorgeous day that we have. I hope you've had a chance to get outside to enjoy the weather and the sunshine as we really are, I think, hopefully starting to transition into summer and having this be more of the norm. I hope you guys are doing well. I just want to bring you just a quick thought today as a daily Brad, kind of like daily bread, but Brad and if I'm Brad, I think that's pretty clever that I came up with that. Anyway, so I want to give you this just a simple truth from a simple man on today to hopefully encourage you, hopefully give you something to think about and apply moving forward. So if you've watched any of the past ones, we've started into the book of First Thessalonians and Paul's letter to the church at Thessalonica and some of the truths that hold. And so that's where we're going to continue today. And I just want to read just two quick verses for you and give you a thought because I've really had one word on my mind today, one thing that I've been thinking about, and that word is imposter. Seems to me like we're living in a world today now where imposters are everywhere, where people aren't what they seem, where even when you expect to see one thing, there's somebody pretending to be something that they're not. And as unfortunate as that is, Paul has some words that speak to that. Now, just in case you're not familiar, I actually had to look up the word imposter in the dictionary to make sure that I understood it fully. And just simply put, it's a person who practices deception under an assumed character, identity, or name. And I just think that's terrible. I can't imagine doing that. And I really do think it's terrible, but I also think it's a reality in today's world. And so I just want to read these couple verses and give you a quick thought from Paul and maybe a way we can apply it to our life. So Paul writes in 1 Thessalonians chapter 2, verses 4 and 5, it says, "On the contrary, we speak as men approved by God to be entrusted with the gospel. We are not trying to please men, but God, who tests our hearts. You know we never used flattery, nor did we put on a mask to cover up greed. God is our witness." Just to reiterate that, Paul says here, we never used flattery, nor did we put on a mask to cover our greed. God is his witness to this truth, to this place. In Paul's time when he's preaching to the Thessalonians, there's false prophets also and false witnesses who are giving contradictory statements, who are contradicting the words of Paul. And he just simply puts, he said, unlike those false prophets, he didn't try to win them over by flattery. He wasn't motivated by trying to line his own pockets by greed. He didn't have a hidden agenda, a second message, a second thought. He was motivated by one thing and one thing only, and that was God. That was to bring the truth of God to the world, to further his kingdom according to his will. That's what drove, and that's where Paul found success, and why in this and in so many things he's an incredible example and something that we can strive for as an example of a Christian today. He called upon God to be his truth, and he stood on that truth regardless. When I think about Paul, I think of somebody who is authentic, somebody who was genuine in his message. He didn't have a hidden agenda. And unfortunately, we're kind of living in a time where it's almost tough to know who to trust. It's tough to know what's real. What's somebody really saying? Was that compliment sincere? Did they have a reason or a motive behind it other than what they said? And my question to you is very simple today. It's are we living authentically? Are we being truth in a world where there are imposters, in a world where people are wearing masks to hide their true intentions, to hide whether it's greed or motives or whatever that is? Are we willing to take off the mask? Are we willing to be true to our word, true in what we say, and true to the truth of the scripture, to this, and let that be what it is, so that when the world looks, when the world sees, when the world tries to decide what message it is they're going to listen to in and amidst a lot of contradicting statements, that they can look to us, look to Christians, look to the church as a place that's standing on the truth, that's genuine and authentic. We're not seen as imposters or as wearing a mask, but we've taken that off and we've said, God, I'm going to serve you and not man. I'm going to live for you and stand on your truth, and I'm going to let that be what it is. I'm going to let that speak for itself, and no one's going to question what that is in me. I do hope that that's where we can get to, and I just challenge you to think about and to look this week and say, not so much where do I think there's an imposter, but when somebody looks at me, would they see one? Am I that beacon as Paul was to truth? Am I that central point of authenticity to the world around me and to our community in a time when that's desperately needed? That's what we're called to do as Christians. That's where I hope we're able to live today and every day moving forward, so that God's kingdom can be furthered through us, so that his truth can be shared through us, and he can use us in the way that he's designed, in the ways that he's planned for incredible things far beyond what we can do through our own motives, through our own intentions. So today, simply take off the mask. Don't pretend to be somebody that you're not. Um, don't concern yourself with other agendas. Concern yourselves with the truth of God. Be you. Be who He designed you to be, and move forward in that authenticity and that genuineness. So there it is. Just like I say, a quick word, a simple truth from a simple man, something from me to you that I've just been thinking about today that I wanted to share with you for the Daily Brad. So get outside, do something, and be authentic in what you're doing. I wish you guys nothing but the best. I hope you guys have a super awesome, amazing day. And like I always say, love y'all. Peace out. Deuces.